on time, and you're gonna, and one of the attractions of visual work is, you know,
just while we're talking,
oh.
you can pass it. Just leave it up and down. Leave it vertical.
Right.
Okay.
It'll go up on the.
Oh, it'll go up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
As, you know, even a page that I have.
After you're tired of it for a couple minutes, you'll pass it to one of them.
Okay.
Actually.
That's the thing. Excuse me, that I've been surprised by walking through here and watching it. People are picking up the book. Whereas I see most people focusing on the video screen when the gallery's closed.
Right.
You know?
I mean, I think in some ways, though.
So I think that's smart because it's working really well and people are actually like standing there.
Right. I think in some ways, though, what I was trying to do is, you know, sort of the idea of multiple intelligences, where there's all these different ways of interacting with it. So having a booklet, you know, if somebody doesn't really feel like sitting down with the computer, playing with a mouse, they could pick it up and walk through the space and maybe interact with it that way. If somebody wants to be interactive, they want to add something to it, they think this is a cool idea, they can just write something in the book and it'll end up on the site. If they want to sit down and really sort of analyze what's going on, you know, they can sit down and look through all this stuff. If they, you know, in passing they can see a video, and it all sort of connects. And I don't know, I mean, maybe it's what I don't want is it to pull out in different directions. I mean, as long as it sort of relates to
Well, it does.
the project.
It does, and so in that sense, I don't think that you have to worry about the way in which someone is interactive. You know, whether they're watching the video or they're reading the book, or kind of walking around the gallery with the book as their map. As long as it doesn't matter to you that they're not maybe necessarily focusing on the website.
Yeah.
I've just been surprised by how many people pick up this book.
Where is the book show up?
The book is if you go up to Facebook feedback. And the whole idea of the Facebook is that that's the best way that I've found that people could interact with the site. So everybody's on Facebook, and people can post things, but if you click on any of those pages, those are all pages from the book. If you go up to the X, or actually this X, and just cancel that, you go right back to this site. But there's also videos that are posted up on there. Shauna posted a video. She took a video during the opening. There is, you know, process of what's going on with the progression of it.
It's going to post.
I mean, I think it's one of those things where I wanted it to be interactive, and I think in interacting with it, it makes a lot more sense than somebody from a distance on a website saying, "Oh, look at all this cool stuff all these people did." And just having it open. I mean, even if somebody doesn't do that, the idea that they can interact with it, I think, is really important. And I think in a gallery space, if I imagine myself walking through a gallery space, there's a lot more time that I spend on something when I can pick it up and move it around than when it's behind glass or it's, you know, you can't touch it, it's a painting, that's high art sort of stuff. I mean, actually, I saw kids when they walked in there. It looks like a big, you know, iPod. They were just doing this.
They're doing touch.
Yeah, I saw people doing that, touching the screen,
I have
thinking.
to tell you, that's the first thing I had was, where did he get such a giant iPad? And had to explain to him that.
So it was kind of interesting, that sense that people had that it was something to be tactile.
Right. And I think that says something. I mean, the fact that technology is moving in that direction.
Well, yeah, and I think that the connection with the iPad is we're not used to seeing TV monitors in this orientation,
right.
but the iPad can and iTouch and stuff, you can turn and the orientation is changes, and so it had that connection, I think.
It would be interesting to have a touch screen.
I would love to have an iPad that big.
That would be much quicker too.
Yes.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
I think the quickness is something that people
Maybe
probably.
that's,
Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of people. They don't like that there's a delay.
Apple to make
I mean, that's just a limitation. But
Oh yeah.
great artists.
You know, for what it is that you did here, I think that you should be very pleased in the way that it worked out.
Thing, like working on a schedule.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think it's
Working on a painting.
it's been really interesting.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
I mean, as far as if looking at this meeting of all of us as being sort of kind of feedback for what I can take with me, to build on. I mean, the idea of having it be more simple as far as the place to dive into the website, I think clearly maybe having a little bit of space that I can take where I can sort of see people interacting with it. The importance of the tactileness is definitely really important. Having labels on things. This is a website. Having a little book, I think. A path through the space so they can make the connection between the cyberspace and real space. But I mean, is there anything else that you feel like is sort of missing?
Well, one of the things that, and this came up actually for our college is redesigning their website. One of the issues is that the way they're setting it up is with links. If there's going to be video, it's going to have to be linked to YouTube or
Right.
Vimeo or something like that.
Right.
And the question is, once you go there, do you come back?
Right.
And that's the same thing here. Once people realize this is on the internet, this is interesting, but I want to go check my email. Or I'm going to go look at another blog or watch a video.
Right.
No.
And I did impose limitations. I mean, there's just a mouse here. There's no mouse or keyboard on this monitor or that one. So, but I think there is something in that. I mean,
It's the challenge of technology.
Yeah,
How
it is.
do you keep somebody captivated?
right.
Without kind of like actually capturing them.
Right.
How is it that you, the artist, designer, you take the role in keeping them captivated?
Right.
What we do in class, we say, yeah, right, turn your computer off. We don't let them take notes with their computer. But you need technology for your project to operate. So you're kind of trying to walk through that field of how is it that I keep somebody on my side and not jump off. And I think that the point you just made about the
Right.
website, I can't believe somebody did.
Because here we are. And not even if people want to go back. I mean, again, it gets back
You gotta
to
navigate it.
how do I get back? And especially if I've
In fact,
gone...
I don't think it was thought about doing
No.
people
And
recently.
it's...
So that is,
Right. A distraction.
well, it's not that it's a distraction. You might not get back.
Right.
And then when you walk in,
Look, I'm trying to get back,
that's what the
man.
next person
Yeah.
first sees,
Right.
right? That's
Right.
what's more important. It's not that I did that and I got there. It's like when it's left there, and that's what the next person sees.
And then it also becomes, is that intentional or not?
Yeah,
Is
there
that
is
part
sort of a
the
chain reaction to
overall
it.
thing? And in this case, it's not.
It's not, but I guess that question of intentionality, because I was here when somebody did that, is because we all operate in this world. We know
What we
exactly how that happened and why that happened, because that happens to us. You search a faculty member at RIT, you end up on the World Wide Web. You don't end up, right? So, I mean, I think we know that. It's like, one, do you, as the audience, have the skill to get back, right? Is it easily navigatable? Or does something take you, as it does for all of us when we're surfing the web, to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, and then without your history, you don't actually know where you
How do
started.
Yeah, right.
But there is that wayfinding. I mean, I feel like it really is amazing how
Yeah.
there's traveling between different associations and bringing your own experience into it has to do with how you interact in the gallery. It has to do with how you interact online.
I'm really sorry.
You gotta go.
I gotta go too.
to
Here,
Okay.
before you go, sign this.
To the stuff that was just handed to me.
Okay.
I gotta go too.
I gotta sign
get my kids.
So-
No, wait.
Please.
What are we doing? Are you want my signature
Yes,
before I can
just so
even
we
go?
don't have to track you down.
I don't want to shake your hand. You did a great job. I'm really proud of you.
Okay.
I had no idea where it was going to go. But I do think this whole thing of like when we're on the live web, you know, do we just accept it? Which maybe at this particular point in history we do, because there isn't that mechanism to like kind of like put a chain link around it.
I think it's exciting that it's not static. It's evolutionary.
It's
It's you know, as Tom said, it's organic. It's in process, and that's the exciting thing to me. It's not like, as you said, posted, finished.
Yeah, right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
it was
you.
a delight.
Thank you.
I'm sorry that I have to.
Yeah, I have to go to college too.
Here,
So
you can
yeah.
These papers. So.
Okay.
One final question. Have you started writing your thesis?
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, compared to the page that most people got away with for their proposals, the fact that I've got
You've got
10 pages is sort of
a good start.
a good start.
Well, officially submitted to me, so I could not give you an incomplete for the quarter.
Okay. Submit a draft to you?
Draft.
Okay.
And whatever you have.
And this is
Sure.
a summary, kind of a summary critique, and you know, what's next. That would be a nice conclusion to it.
Okay. For the draft, you mean, or for the
Well, I think
thesis?
for the, I don't know. Do you have a specific format for the thesis?
Yeah, there is. Sort of.
Would that fit?
Yeah.
I mean, I think one thought that I had, and I'll ask you guys really quickly, was leaving continuing with drafts, but not trying to shoot for a final thesis until the end of the summer. And
That's fine.
I mean, not
Officially, you have 7 years from when you
Wow.
started the program, which was only a year and a half ago. So you have a ways you can do it. Just the problem we have is people say, "Oh, I have time,"
Right.
and then a year from now, they're not thinking about it anymore.
right.
And if you take all 7, you complete your thesis and your award taken.
We have too many people that we're dealing with 3 right now that are over 7 years, and they have to
Wow.
reapply. And we have to appeal to the grad council. It's a mess. I was talking to Med Hill. 50% of their students never finish.
What?
Just because of the written part.
Wow.
And ours, we don't. I don't have the statistics. They're going to. Andy Moore has the statistics on all the programs, and it's pretty. Med-Ill is not the worst.
Wow.
All right, guys.
This was good.
Yeah, good job, man.
Nice job, Ben.
Thanks. All right, I'll stop.